you so much for joining us to watch Riding Hawa. It's now my pleasure to welcome the director, Najiba Noori. First of all, I would like to say I hope this movie has moved you in a way it has moved me, because I thought it was such a powerful and vulnerable documentary to make and show the world. How do you feel about having this screen? Yeah, of course. Take your time. How do you feel? Because I can imagine it's so vulnerable to, it's such a glimpse in intimate lives of you and your family. How does it feel to have this play in and around the world?
Hello, good evening. Welcome to this screening. It's nice to be back in Amsterdam. I'm very happy to be here tonight. Yeah, we had the premiere at IDFA last year. So since then, the film is doing well, so many film festival, which is our goal to show as much as possible. It's very necessary, I think, especially at this time with the current situation, what's happening in Afghanistan. Yeah, I feel happy.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for you to be here, and it's so special to have the chance to interview you and have the audience ask questions as well at the end. I would like to start off with asking about the writing and the filming of the documentary, because it was filmed over 5 years. That's quite some time. And what inspired you to show this documentary through the lens of your family?
Well, I started filming in 2019, and when I started, of course, I didn't expect it, to go in this way. But what inspired me was Hawa herself, her stories, her life experiences. The story of my mom's generation that we don't see much. And for me, when I was listening and sitting, next to her, her telling me about her life, that she was not allowed to go to school, and also, to get education. Instead, she was forced to get married to my dad. And for me, I think it was very impressive that still I could see how much she's eager to experience, like to learn how to write, how to read, experience that life that was taken from her when she was a kid, and then as a youth. Of course, when I was talking to her, I could see the grief on her face, but at the same time talking about the dreams that she kept for so many years also was exciting. So I would say when I grew up and when I myself started working like to be in the society, I realized that how much she struggled, she suffered, but at the same time how much she resisted during these years.
Definitely.
Like raising 6 kids, also make sure that us, the kids, especially me and my sister, we get education. She tried hard, so during those years. So for me, it was very important, first as her daughter, to support her, to be in this journey, and also to tell this story, to the world. It's, I think for me, it's an inspiring story. But at the same time, I was working as a journalist, so the people, they usually they come to my country, and what stories they take out of the country, and mostly wrong narratives or cliches, you know.
Can you maybe tell me more about those wrong narratives?
Yeah, I mean, like, for example, like when you search Afghanistan, like in Google, so
You only see the negative.
the negative also, like, I think the people, they have the few images, and I think what they get these images are through the media. And I worked for agency, and I could see, like, you know, the stories. They would like more victimize the women.
Yeah, and
But they would forget, like, of course, there was war, right? There was violence. But you should also see the other side of the story, that how much we resisted during these
so
years.
much resilience in these,
Yeah.
in these women that keep on resisting and building their own communities and keep on trying and living their own dreams. Because Hawa...
Louder!
Oh, of course, yes, thank you so much. Because I was just saying that the film followed your mother, Hawa, who learned to read and write at 52 and started a small textile business. How does her journey, what symbolizes that for you?
Yeah, I think it's simply the resistance, this resilience. As I said, like my mom's generation, I think, even if they had not the chance to get education, but they tried hard for their girls. Like, and Hawa is not the only, you know, woman, and there are so many women like her.
Yeah, she's like the face of a generation.
That they, you know, they worked hard to, like, their children, especially their daughters, you know, to get education. And of course, she grew up in a patriarchal family, you know, that she was not allowed to go to school. But for me, it's a resistance, a fight of these all years, you know. And today, to see that she wants to, I think she's very strong and very brave to, you know, to want to, like, it's very, I think for so many people, especially women, like, these things that she is experiencing for the first time, it's very normal, and especially like for me, for my generation. It was not easy, but compared to, you know, what she experienced, it was much easier, you know, to experience these things. But I would say it's resilience.
Yeah. How's your mother doing now?
She's in France, so she's fine, but I would say it's difficult for her, you know. She doesn't want to leave the country and to come to a country that she doesn't know the language and the culture, you know. She's learning French, so she's taking the class.
Yeah, we already saw.
She's very impressive.
Yeah.
More than
It was such a
now
lovely moment.
it's not just bonjour, bisous, bisous, it's more.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we speak through the phone, she tells me that what she learned, you know, today, for example, in the class.
Still learning.
Yeah, very impressive.
Still following your dream. Yeah, that's really impressive. And I'm also wondering what it's like emotionally to, you know, as both a daughter and filmmaker, to represent this story to the world, and also being in exile from Afghanistan and doing this from France. How was that for you?
I think the turning point was when the Taliban arrived and I was forced to leave the country. I mean, that was the most tough decision that I made in my whole life, to leave my country. And of course, the arrival of the Taliban was surprising for everybody, and we were all shocked. And when I arrived in France, so I was very, you know, not in a good state of mind, and it was difficult to work. It took like few months that I realized what just happened.
Yeah, of course.
Because it happened like just in a matter of hours, and when we lost, it was big, you know. The life that we fought for it for so many years. But something that I realized when I was leaving Afghanistan and then I arrived in France, something was very important for me to keep documenting this moment, this very important moment of the history in my country, what happened, you know, how it happened. So yeah, I could not continue working, but I passed the camera to my brother, who continued filming. Of course, it was not easy, but also I was directing from far away, having long conversations through the phone. But I think Rasul Ali Noori, my brother, he did a good job. After
Definitely, and it's just so special that even when you left Afghanistan, you still got to cover the whole story with the support of your family. So.
Yeah, it was very important for us to tell this story, you know, by ourselves. I think it's been like for so many years, other people that come and tell these stories, but also to make this film, I think it was also like healing, like kind of therapy for me. Because I remember when I arrived in France, I had this feeling of guilt. What I am doing here, you know. Yesterday I was in the office, and today I am in this city that I don't want it to come. I didn't choose to come. I was not ready. But to work on this film with a great team, the team couldn't be here, Christian Paul, Hassan Soler, the editor and co-writer of the film, but Afshin Azizi, our composer, is here if you have questions about the music. So I think it was very important to work with this team. Very supportive, and I needed that support.
Of course.
So,
I can imagine. Definitely. And what role do you think art and film can have in such challenging life chapters? What do you think the role of it all is?
I mean, this is the first feature film that I made, as I said, with a great team. But I think that I believe in the power of cinema, that how much the people can connect to a story, you know, that is happening in a completely different part of the world. And then you're sitting here and you see what's happening, and you feel connected, and maybe you care, you feel how do you say, responsible. What I do to see.
And I would also, I'm really glad you said this, because the next question is the people in this room, us, the audience, people that are watching this beautiful documentary, what can we do for Afghan women to, in a more meaningful way than the international community has?
I think it's up to
Excusez-moi, madame. Est-ce que vous pouvez parler un peu plus fort? Parce que j'ai du mal à entendre.
Into the microphone.
Merci beaucoup.
I think we can still do so many things with the current situation. It's been like, everyone knows that it's been like over 4 years that the girls are not allowed to go to school from the secondary, and they're not allowed to work, they're even not allowed to speak in the street or walking freely, and it's basically the Taliban. They are, you know, they're raising the women from every aspect of the life. But for us, so to make this film was one journey, and what we can do through this film is another thing that we have been working in an impact campaign. Also, our co-producer right here, starting in Netherlands. That because the thing is that since the Taliban arrived, the women of my country they started to come to the streets and, you know, raising their voices, protesting like from the beginning, and they stand, you know, and even if they are banned now to go to the streets, they are still resisting. They are fighting every day through the, you know, like there are so many. I mean, not so many, but I know like the underground schools. They do a lot of online activism, you know, and we have this impact campaign that for now we have in Netherlands, in France, that how we can support, especially the education. For example, if you go to the Writing Hawa website, we have a website there, we explained more about our impact campaign.
Writing Hawa, the website. The campaign is called Impact Campaign, right?
Impact Campaign, but you can find more information
on the website.
On the website. Also, if you have more questions, Hassan is here. But to support this organization, because so many women from Afghanistan that they are in exile, they are active. And they are working, you know, for example, having the online classes. Like you can even be a teacher, and also to support those organizations, I don't know, by donating. Or there are still women that are working inside Afghanistan, like making these embroideries, handicrafts. You can support them, you know. Like I think we can support. You can support in any way you can. Like to say some.
Well, that's nice to hear. Because I feel like people in the Netherlands they also don't really know when to support and how to support. So I'm really glad you have to tell that as well, because it's super important. Before we start, I also really want to ask if the audience has some questions for Najiba.
I have a question. The film is out now for 1-2 years. Can you tell something about the impact for people who fled their country, women who saw this film here in Europe? What was the impact for them? Do you know something about that?
I mean, it's been even not 1 year that the film is, you know, started its journey to like go to the different festivals. I mean, I saw some women that they came to the screenings in different countries. I think it's still for us that we left in 2021, it's still difficult to watch the film. They get very emotional, and it just, you know, reminding them of those days that, it's very emotional, but at the same time, especially those women that they came after the 15 August 2021, I could see like they are very, you know, active, working in different fields, but also supporting, you know, women from far away.
Okay.
So, also, you know, as I said, like we feel a little bit what we can do. Like now, you know, we are far away. Like me, that I had this guilt, you know, that what I can do, that like to tell this story was like a kind of therapy or healing, that I said, okay, I could, you know, use my tools and to tell these stories. But yeah, so many other women, they do activities from farming.